Hi friends, I'm introducing a new skill for us today. Cuts. Cuts are, strictly speaking, embellishments or ornaments to a tune. Ornaments are intended to enhance the phrasing and to express the emotion of a tune. Cuts in Irish music are just as important as the notes themselves. They aren't the only ornaments we'll learn, but I feel like they are the foundation to the ornaments. How do you play a cut? You've heard them, whether you know what it is or not. It's that little jump to a higher note. You play a cut by quickly bouncing off of a higher note than the one you're about to play at the very beginning of a note. It sounds more complicated than it is. When we're more experienced players, we might cut in the middle of a note, but for now, let's get the basics nailed. So what you do is you quickly raise and lower a finger on a higher note than the one you're intending to play. The purpose of a cut is to, well, cut. I'll play an E and I'll cut using the G. Well, that was a funny sound, but that's the idea, and you can practice that slowly and get better at it. I started off with that slow, and I'm working on getting that upper note twitch a little better because I want it to be a cut. And some people say that the cut note should be like any note higher, but a number of experienced trad players make some great recommendations that I'm following because for that cut to sound, it should be the right high note. So what a number of traditional players say, if you're playing a D, E, F sharp, or G, that you use the G to cut. If you're playing an A or a B, that you'll use the B to cut. It's fairly simple, really. So the challenge is when you normally hear a cut demonstrated, the person plays a note and then cuts. When you hear that, that's really, like I played the E. That's really, I'm playing an E and then I cut to a second E. To demonstrate a cut all by itself would be so it actually is an entry into the note. Cuts should have a bit of an edge to them. That's why it's recommended that we go a few notes higher. And the reason the G and the B are recommended is so that it's a consistent twitch of the finger for you, and then that specific finger learns well what to do. Don't worry if you get some squeaks and squawks. You heard me make one. This skill will help us improve hole coverage, which is, as we said, one of the key skills we need. So that's really all there is to cuts. But when do we play a cut? Well, there are rules, sort of. First rule, don't overdo it. Cuts are ornaments. They are intended to enhance the phrasing and the emotion of a tune. They're not intended to dominate the tune or distract from it. So when you're playing a cut, one of the main ways I've seen and heard from traditional players is if you have two consecutive of the same notes that you cut to the second one. That way you don't have to tongue every phrase. I've been learning the song Around the World for Sport, and the first line goes, now that is obviously an Irish tune, but it doesn't sound very Irish played. There are no ornaments in it, no expression in it. And so on that, there's two A's together and two B's together. So to cut those, and I might throw a cut on the beginning G for us to hear. So that adds a little more life, and there's a lot more I need to do with this tune, but I'm working on the skill. So what I'm doing when I'm learning a new tune is I'm learning to just play the tune, and then I'm finding where I need to embellish it, and then I'm working on that. So the first place you use cuts is when two consecutive of the same notes occur. I don't have to tongue my way through. I can express it by using the cut. Another way to use the cut is to highlight a transition in a song or highlight the rhythm in a song. We'll get into that more, but one expression of that is in the second line of this song. You heard me play that's B, second octave D, down to an A. From the second octave E to that A, I've heard most people play a cut. Now this is a great one to practice because it's a challenge for us beginners. So you'll keep practicing that at a slow speed and then pick up the speed in order to develop the skill. I find the best way to learn to play a cut is to play a song and add one in, and then to go over and over and over the line. Cuts have other uses, but this will get us started. Remember, practice as much as you play, and play so that practicing makes sense. We'll learn more ornaments soon, but in our next video, I'll share a site I found that introduces some beginner tunes for us to play in a really helpful way. I feel like one of my jobs in this developing community is to share what seems to be the most helpful resources with the rest of us so that we can improve our playing in a more traditional and proper way. Please share in the comments the songs you're using to learn, and let me know if you're having any trouble with cuts, and we can work on that together. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy low D whistling.